Why did Mark Cuban sell the Dallas Mavericks? Are casinos and sports betting coming to Texas? Why wasn't Cuban at the front of the Western Conference Finals trophy ceremony? Are sports teams overvalued today? Welcome to Basketball Business. I'm Kyle, and today we're digging into why Mark Cuban decided to sell Dallas Mavericks for almost $4 billion. Let's jump right in. First, let's start with the man himself. Outside of the Mavs, you probably best know Mark Cuban from the TV show Shark Tank. But he's a self-made billionaire who made a significant portion of his wealth by selling a website called broadcast.com to Yahoo during the peak of the dot-com bubble. This deal was worth a whopping $5.7 billion.
ROI. You know what that stands for?
Return on
investment.
Nope. Radio on Internet.
Smart move, right? Cuban didn't just sit back and watch his money grow. He predicted that tech stocks, including the ones he now owns billions of, were about to collapse. So he locked in a guaranteed profit while limiting his potential gains in a strategic move known as hedging.
I got all this stock from Yahoo, and everybody else thought the internet bubble was going to keep on going forever, right? I'm like, there's no way. So I sold calls, bought puts, so I protected my stock.
While Yahoo stock was plummeting from $118 to just $8, Cuban was busy negotiating a deal to purchase the Dallas Mavericks from Ross Perot Jr. He bought the team for $280 million, which was the highest price ever paid for an NBA team at the time. Cuban was willing to spend whatever it took to build a contender, and he did just that, winning 60% of his games in his first decade of ownership and reaching the mountaintop in 2011. Mark Cuban isn't the majority owner of the Dallas Mavericks anymore, as he sold them to a group backed by casino giant Las Vegas Sands late last year. Unlike the outspoken shark, the new Mavericks owners are expected to take a more behind-the-scenes approach. But who is the new person calling the shots? Who is representing the Mavs at the NBA governors meetings? Who now has the final say? His name is Patrick Dumont, and basketball fans might not be familiar with him just yet. Patrick Dumont is the president and chief operating officer of the Las Vegas Sands Corporation, which owns and operates luxury casino resorts in Asia after selling the Venetian in 2022. Dumont has been with Sands since 2016, originally serving as the CFO before being promoted to his current role in 2021. Dumont, along with his wife, Savan, are the family members involved in this purchase. Savan is the daughter of Miriam Adelson, who is the widow of Sheldon Adelson, a casino tycoon who built his wealth in Las Vegas and Asia before his death in 2021. Dumont has been instrumental in pushing the Sands Corporation to diversify its holdings beyond casinos, showcasing his strategic vision and business acumen. In a recent statement, Dumont expressed his family's long-standing interest in buying an NBA team, highlighting their desire to connect with the local community and partner with the right people. He emphasized their long-standing relationship with Mark Cuban as a driving force between the decision to invest in the Mavericks. When Luka Doncic scored 73 points, Dumont says his house was rocking from all the cheering. He's excited to be a majority owner of the team and plans for his whole family to attend games. The new ownership group also includes the incredibly wealthy Miriam Adelson, the widow of casino tycoon Sheldon Adelson. With a net worth estimated at over $32 billion, Miriam Adelson is the 45th richest person in the world and the 5th richest woman in the United States. Miriam Adelson is more than just a wealthy businesswoman. She's also a major political power broker. She and her husband were longtime prominent Republican donors, reporting figures like former President Donald Trump and Texas Governor Greg Abbott. In fact, the Adelsons have been actively involved in Texas politics for years, donating not just to Abbott, but also to the state's Attorney General and various conservative political action committees. This deep connection to Texas definitely played a role in their interest in purchasing a stake in the Dallas Mavericks. With Miriam Adelson now owning the majority of the Dallas Mavericks, it's clear she and her family bring not just immense wealth, but also significant political and media influence to the franchise. This could have wide-ranging impacts, both on and off the court, for the Mavs going forward. But why did he sell specifically to the Adelsons, especially at a lower price and most experts valued the team at. In simple terms, Mark Cuban has had a long-standing relationship with the Adelson family, the new majority owners of the Dallas Mavericks. Cuban has known them forever, describing them as good people who are, quote, committed to Dallas and winning. Cuban's relationship with the Adelsons dates back 15 to 20 years. He viewed Sheldon Adelson, Miriam's late husband, as a mentor. This relationship played a crucial role when filming for Shark Tank in LA got shut down due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Cuban used his relationship with Sands to create a filming and production bubble in Las Vegas at the Venetian, formerly owned by Sands. When Cuban explained his reasons for selling the franchise but maintaining a significant stake, he touted Sands Corp's infrastructure and know-how to build and operate the kinds of large-scale entertainment complex that he and Dumont and Adelson have envisioned for more than a year. In late 2022, Cuban first mentioned the Sands Corporation as a potential partner for his vision of an arena built within a destination resort casino in Dallas. The two parties have been engaged in serious conversations about the team sale since early 2023. So the new Mavericks ownership represents more than just a changing of the guard. It's a continuation of the long-standing relationship and business collaboration between Mark Cuban and the Adelson family. Ultimately, Cuban could have gotten more money elsewhere, but the Adelsons offered him something even sweeter, letting him keep running basketball operations. That still leaves the main question: why sell the team? Is this a gamble for the future of casino and sports betting legalization in Texas? Or does Cuban know something we don't? Easy answer directly quoted from Cuban: "You spend more time with my family, and because I believe the next wave of revenue generation is around real estate and entertainment, and those aren't my strengths." He's not running for president. Here's him talking for his reasons.
You know, my kids are 14, 17, and 20, Morgan, and that's time I'm never going to get back.
Cuban's decision to sell is not driven by a desire for a time-consuming political endeavor or other external factors. He wanted to ensure that the Mavericks were in good hands for the future, especially as the NBA's financial landscape evolves. Mark Cuban recognizes that the landscape of sports media is changing rapidly. With traditional cable TV deals losing their value, the growth of an NBA franchise value may not continue at the same pace as it has over the past 2 decades. This shift in the media landscape could be influencing Cuban's outlook on the future of the NBA. Despite the league currently finalizing negotiations for a new media rights deal that is expected to bring in an additional $2.5 billion annually for NBA owners and players, there are growing concerns about the stability of local media rights. The bankruptcy of regional broadcasting networks has raised alarm bells among Cuban and other team owners, who are more apprehensive about the next media rights deal than the current one. Cuban explains that the future of revenue generation in the NBA is shifting away from traditional media deals and towards real estate and entertainment. And that's not an area where Cuban feels he has the necessary expertise. As he put it, if you look at the teams that spend the most money right now, it's not because of their media deals. It's because of the real estate empires that they've built. And I have no knowledge in that at all. It's been hard enough learning the pharmacy and basketball business, let alone trying to learn real estate as well. That's why Cuban decided to sell a majority stake to the Adelson family, who owns destination resorts around the world. The Adelsons have deep experience in real estate and entertainment, which aligns with Cuban's vision for the Mavericks' future. Another key factor is the potential for sports betting and gambling in Texas. Both Cuban and the Adelsons have been vocal advocates for legalizing casino resorts in the state. They see this as a way to drive new revenue streams for the Mavericks. So, while Cuban is stepping back from being the majority owner, he's doing so with an eye towards positioning the Mavericks for long-term success in a rapidly evolving sports and media landscape. Selling a majority stake allowed Cuban to stay involved in the basketball operation he loves, while the Adelsons handle the business side of things, including a potential new arena. Mark Cuban pretty much outsourced the worst parts of being the owner while getting to do all the fun parts he wants to keep doing. Cuban believes that with a new arena, real estate development, and maybe even a casino, the value of the Mavericks will skyrocket in the future. Look at the big spenders in the NBA. They're the ones with massive stadium complexes and entertainment districts. Cuban admits he's not a real estate guru, and that's okay. This could be a huge win for everyone involved. Over the past few years, industry experts have consistently valued the Dallas Mavericks franchise at over $4 billion if sold on the open market. However, the pending sale to the Adelson family is reportedly valuing the Mavericks at less than $4 billion, perhaps in the $3.8 to $3.9 billion range. This is lower than expected, especially compared to recent sales of smaller stakes in teams like the Pacers and Bucks. Does this lower sale price signal an overall drop in NBA franchise valuations? Not necessarily. Experts suggest Mark Cuban may have agreed to a slightly lower valuation in exchange for an unprecedented arrangement. Reports indicate that as part of the deal, Cuban will retain control over all basketball operations and decision-making for the Mavericks, despite selling a majority stake to the Adelsons. This level of autonomy is extremely rare for a minority owner. Ultimately, while the Mavericks sale price may be lower than expected, most experts don't see it as a significant red flag for the overall value of NBA franchises long term. Demand still far outweighs supply when it comes to team ownership. A lot has been speculated about the new ownership structure and how much the Mavs were actually sold for. The Adelson family initially purchased slightly under 69% of the Mavericks at a little over $2.65 billion direct to Cuban for a team value of $3.85 billion. Mark Cuban keeps 27% of the team, while minority owner Mary Stanton is keeping her 4.13% stake. However, the Adelsons have the option to buy 20% of Cuban's stake at an exercise price of $765 million by 2028, and the option to buy out Mary Stanton for $160 million at any time she decides to sell. These future purchase prices are reflective of the team's valuation when the Adelsons bought the franchise. Here's a breakdown of the new ownership structure and the percentages each group owns. This model allows for the Adelson family to benefit from their investment in the team while leveraging Cuban's proven expertise in running an NBA franchise. It also sets the stage for potential synergies between the Mavericks and the Adelsons' casino business, aligning with their shared vision for casino resort arena. Part of the reason the team was sold for less than what experts value them at is due to not owning the arena the Mavs play in. While the city of Dallas owns American Airlines Center, the Mavericks share the arena's economics with the NHL's Dallas Stars. This sale will leave the Stars with 50% of the arena's profits and expenses, the Adelson Group with 30%, and Cuban with 20%, according to sources. Getting $2.65 billion for selling something means you're going to have to pay a lot in taxes. So, what taxes did Mark Cuban pay on selling the Dallas Mavericks, and how exactly did he receive the money from selling them? Was it all upfront, or is it coming in gradual payments? Is it all cash? The total sale price for the Mavericks franchise and its associated assets is estimated to be $3.85 billion. This makes it the largest all-cash transaction in NBA history, with no debt involved. To fund the Mavericks purchase, the Adelson family sold $2 billion worth of stock in their company, Las Vegas Sands Corp. This shows the immense financial resources they're bringing to this deal. When asked if the money had already hit his bank account, Cuban responded with a wide smile. Now, let's talk taxes. In an interview with CNBC, Cuban said his tax bill is, quote, almost all long-term capital gains, which almost certainly triggered a federal long-term capital gains tax of 20%. He has confirmed in past years that he pays 30%, top federal income tax rate. Texas, where he lives, has no state income tax. A rough capital gains tax burden for Mark Cuban selling the Dallas Mavericks is $643 million. However, his actual taxes paid will be less than that because of tax advantages available to reduce your tax bill. It's hard to say how much of the $276 million 2023 tax payment is related to him selling the Mavs. The new owners, Patrick Dumont and Miriam Adelson, will also be able to apply tax advantages to decrease their tax burden. In a gesture of goodwill, Mark Cuban wanted to show his appreciation to all the Mavericks employees who helped build this organization over the years. So, in an email, he announced a special bonus for the entire staff. Cuban said that he, along with the new ownership group led by the Adelson and Dumont families, will be paying out approximately $35 million in bonuses to Mavericks employees. This amount of everyone's bonus was calculated based on how long they have worked for the team. Longer tenured employees received higher bonuses. Despite the change in ownership, Mark Cuban wanted to make sure all the hardworking Mavericks employees were rewarded for their contributions to the team's success over the years. There are some other people getting an unexpected financial windfall too. The Dallas Mavericks were founded on May 1st, 1980, when majority owner Donald Carter and a few others invested $13.3 million to bring an expansion team to the city, a risky investment at the time. The league was so ignored by fans that the finals were on tape delay until 1982. Carter owned the Mavericks for 16 years, turning his initial $13.3 million investment into a franchise valued at $125 million when he sold it to a group led by Ross Perot Jr. on May 1st, 1996. Mark Cuban then purchased the Mavs in 2000 for $285 million when he was 42 years old. Each time the team was sold, the previous owner kept a small percentage. Over the years, the Mavericks have had several minority owners who have been with the team since the beginning. Their original $300,000 and $400,000 investments have turned into stakes worth nearly $160 million each. Here's a breakdown of the valuation of each stake. All of the current minority owners agreed to sell their stakes, except for Mary Stanton, a widow of original minority owner Horace Ardinger. The Mavericks franchise has come a long way since its $13.3 million founding, with the team now being valued at almost $4 billion under the new ownership group. The founders' families were able to benefit greatly from the risk they took over 40 years ago. One of the biggest lingering questions after the Mavericks sale is, what are the plans for the team's future home arena? Based on comments from both Mark Cuban and new ownership group, they seem to be envisioning something truly ambitious, a first-of-its-kind casinarena. This would be a colossal project combining a state-of-the-art multi-purpose arena with an integrated casino resort, all under one roof. The goal would be to replicate the scale and amenities of iconic Las Vegas properties like the Venetian or Bellagio, right in the heart of the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex. While still in the very early planning stages, some of the potential locations being discussed include the former sites of Reunion Arena or the K. Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center in downtown Dallas. Interestingly, reports surfaced in December that the Sands Corp had purchased around 108 acres of land in Irving, near where the iconic Texas Stadium used to stand, through a holding company. Of course, with gambling still legal in Texas, this is viewed as more of a long-term vision, likely taking 5 to 10 years to get legislation passed and complete construction. The Mavericks have a lease at American Airlines Center until 2031, so any transition would have to happen after that. Patrick Dumont expressed strong belief that in the coming years, there will be an opportunity to develop integrated casino resorts right here in Texas. While the timeline is uncertain, he feels that they may have public support building in certain areas. Real estate experts believe a project of this scale, combining a top-tier arena with Vegas-like hospitality, dining, and entertainment, could be transformative to Dallas. It would dramatically increase property values and drive massive economic activity wherever it ultimately builds. Before any glitzy Las Vegas-style casino resort and arena can be built in the Dallas area, gambling needs to be legalized on a widespread level across Texas. Currently, gambling is quite limited in the state. Texas only allows the lottery, bingo, and horse and greyhound racing. There are also 3 small tribal casinos operating under federal law, but regulated sports betting and commercial casino gambling are both banned statewide. However, that could change in the coming years as deep-pocketed gaming interests are heavily lobbying to expand gambling in the Lone Star State. Leading the charge is Las Vegas Sands Corporation, owned by the wealthy Adelson family. Other gaming giants like DraftKings, FanDuel, and MGM Resorts are also on board, seeing huge potential in the Texas market. To legalize gambling in Texas, 2/3 of the House and Senate must approve the legislation, and then voters need to give it the green light in a general election. In 2023, we saw a bit of movement with 2 gambling bills. one to legalize sports betting passed the House, while another to allow casino resorts made it to the House floor before stalling. However, the biggest roadblock remains Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, who controls the Senate schedule and has voiced staunch opposition to expanding gambling. He has said the Republican majority lacks the 15 to 16 votes needed to pass casino legislation. He's a significant roadblock. There might be a political shift in the 2024 election that could change the landscape by 2025. Though the efforts failed in the Senate, it marked the most substantial movement yet on the gambling issue. Las Vegas Sands ramped up its lobbying effort, hiring over 60 lobbyists and pledging to spend up to $5.9 million in 2023 alone. The company's Texas Sands PAC has also donated millions to the top state leaders like Governor Greg Abbott and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. And recent campaign finance filing shows the Adelson family spent over $9 million on lobbying in 2024 Texas primary elections. Politically, Las Vegas Sands has been strategic. Through a political action committee called Texas Sands, Miriam Adelson herself has spent more than $2 million since 2020 to fund state legislators and hire lobbyists within the state's long-entrenched Republican government. These donations show Sands' commitment to influencing key decision-makers. Other major donors include the billionaire Fertitta family, who owns the Golden Nugget casino chain and the Houston Rockets. Even former governors like Rick Perry joined lobbying groups supporting legalized sports betting. Polls show around 75% of Texans support allowing casino resorts. Gambling proponents argue it would create tens of thousands of jobs and provide a new tax revenue stream for the state budget. If gambling is legalized, the Dallas-Fort Worth area could see a massive casino and resort development. Cuban believes that such a destination could transform Texas into a major tourist hub, drawing visitors from across the country. So while forces are aligning for change, the gambling issue is far from settled in Texas. The state's powerful conservative religious groups remain strongly opposed, calling gambling a moral threat. If the political winds shift and public support continues to grow, we could see Texas transforming into a major player in the gambling world. It may come down to the 2024 election and if a new legislature is seated in 2025 with more pro-gambling members. The deep-pocketed Sands Corporation is certainly betting on it, and now they are joined by Mark Cuban. What a moment for the Dallas Mavericks! As they battle in the 2024 NBA Finals, it's clear that the team has a bright future ahead. But off the court, Mark Cuban is making bold moves that could shape the franchise and the state of Texas for years to come. By selling the majority stake in the Mavericks to the Adelson family and Las Vegas Sands Corporation, Cuban is positioning the team for long-term success. He's partnering with experts in real estate and gambling, tapping into the potential growth of legalized gaming in Texas, while also ensuring generational wealth and stability for his family. The proposed casinarena could be a game changer for Dallas, bringing together the excitement of NBA basketball with the thrill of Las Vegas-style entertainment. It has the potential to drive significant economic growth and tourism, making Dallas a premier destination for sports and entertainment. Of course, there are challenges ahead. Legalizing gambling in Texas won't be easy, and there are questions about how this new ownership structure will impact the team's operation. But with the combined influence and resources of Mark Cuban and the Adelson, the Mavericks are well positioned to navigate these challenges and come out on top. As we've seen throughout this video, Cuban's decision to sell the team is a strategic move that reflects the changing landscapes of sports and media. By diversifying his holdings and exploring new opportunities in real estate and gaming, he's setting the stage for the Mavericks' long-term success. So, what do you think about the future of the Dallas Mavericks? Are you excited about the potential of a casinarena in Dallas? And how do you think the new ownership structure will impact the team's performance on the court? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the business side of basketball, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll be bringing you more content like this, exploring the fascinating world of sports and finance. Thanks for watching!